Okay, so who needs another demo ride of the Honda GB350S? I can't believe how many there are actually on the web. So it isn't going to be a review, it's just going to be a few thoughts on taking a ride on a nice sunny morning in North Shropshire. It's about a 35-mile round trip, generated using the Beeline Moto 2 navigator. I'm starting off roughly at Wrighton, Leven Towns, then Baschurch, Loppington, Wilshampton, Ellesmere, St Martin's, Gebowen, and then back to Wrighton. And it's a beautiful morning. This is my third ride on the GB350S, including the demo ride I got from Shrewsbury Honda. Thank you very much indeed for them for arranging it. And about 100 miles on the clock when I started this, so still very much running in. And the guidance is to keep it pretty steady until you get to the 300 miles point. First service is 600 miles. Now, when I took my previous bike in for a service and MOT, the Honda CB300R, I didn't actually have any intention of changing it. It's a 6-year-old bike, but really nice, really enjoyed it. Very lightweight and ideal for the back roads. But I arranged a test ride on the GB350S while I was there, so I took that out while they were working on my bike. There are a number of videos on my YouTube channel on the CB300R, so I won't bother going over all my thoughts on that, other than saying I really enjoyed it. It was good to up. I didn't give it a lot of stick, and shockingly over that period of time only did about 2,600 miles, so definitely a bike only for the sunshine. So there you go, but got a very good deal on it on trade-in, and it just so happens that it had a GB350S sitting there in the showroom, mud grey colour, which they said yes, I could have that straight away if I wanted it. So what drew me to the GB over the CB? Well, the CB300R, super bike, but quite revvy, roughly 1000 RPM for every 10 miles an hour, so cruising at 60 miles an hour you're looking at 6000 RPM, 70 looking at 7000 RPM. And the GB is a completely different kettle of fish. It's a real thumper. You can almost hear the individual firings of the cylinder. Much more relaxed. Yep, probably only about half the power of the 300R, but delivering it low down, so we've got plenty of grunt and there's no need to give it too much in the way of revs. Give you an idea of my motorcycle experience. I passed my motorcycle test back in the early 1970s, back in the day when you could ride a 50cc moped on L plates and a provisional license, and then you pass your motorcycle test. And again, that was before they actually came out with me on the test, so the guy would ask you a few questions in the highway code, and then he'd stand outside the centre, send you off down the road, tell you which way he wants you to go, and then come back, and then there'd be a slow speed handling, an emergency stop, and he signed you off, and then you could ride anything unlimited. Back in the day, once you were 17, you could ride up to 250cc on L plates without anything other than a provisional licence. Of course, the roads weren't as busy then, the bikes weren't as powerful, so generally we got away with it. For those of you not based in the UK, the speed limits in the UK are many and varied. There's 20 miles an hour in some built up areas, particularly around schools. Normally 30 miles an hour through built up areas with street lights. And then you've got 40 limit and then a 50 limit. And on the roads that aren't motorways or dual carriageways, then the limit is 60 miles an hour. Motorways and dual carriageways are 70 miles an hour, but we won't be going on any of those today. So sticking religiously to all the speed limits here. There's too many cameras around, there's too many mobile camera vans, and the roads are pretty appalling anyway, so why not stick to the speed limits? The only modifications I've done to the bike so far are the standard Honda tall screen, which isn't really that tall. It's very similar to the one I had on the 300R, and it's a very reasonable price as well. It's about £60 from a Honda dealer, and fitting it isn't too difficult, although I struggled to find any instructions. But fortunately there was a video on YouTube, and that showed exactly how to fit it, so no problems there. It's a 5-speed gearbox, so that'll take a bit of getting used to after the 6-speed on the 300R. Gears are pretty well spaced, and fifth, as all the YouTube demo videos show, is really an overdrive, so you can probably go just as fast in fourth as you can in fifth. The GB350 has a gear indicator, which is an improvement over the CBR that didn't, so it's always a case of just checking to see what gear you're in by judging the revs. Interestingly enough, third gear seems to suit the 30-mile-an-hour limits, and fourth gear suits the 40-mile-an-hour limits, so that's a pretty good guide as to how it goes. Putting the gear ratios into ChatGPT brings up some interesting figures. Maximum torque is at 3000 RPM, and in fifth gear that works out at about 47.9 miles an hour, 48 miles an hour. So if you're cruising at 50 on the back roads, you're running pretty much at max torque. Looking at max power, that's 5,500 RPM. So in fifth gear, you're never going to reach it, but 5,500 would be 88 miles an hour. But in fourth gear, it's 72, so that just shows you can get up to 70 in fourth and just snick it into fifth and cut down on the revs. The 35-mile round trip this morning took just over an hour, but fortunately for you, I've cut this video down to about 10 minutes, so you won't be bored by lots and lots of roads. If you want to watch the video without narration, there is another version on my YouTube channel with just the video. We're not far off getting back to the starting point now. This road here is a nice long straight road. We are doing about 60 here, ticking along without any great problems at all. If you get a headwind and you get a hill, yeah, fifth gear is going to struggle a little bit and you're going to have to change down to fourth. But normally, when you're cruising on the flat, that's not a problem. We're approaching Queen's Head now. We're just coming up to a set of nice bends. You can see well ahead, so no problem at all getting around these. They're really quite a bit of fun. I think I cut up a bit on the earlier in the ride, and a nice tight right-hand bend when I found a truck in the middle of the road coming the other way. Always have to watch out on these back roads. Also, the road surface is not very good, as I mentioned earlier, and you tend to get lots of mud on the roads when the tractors are going on and off the fields. Fortunately, it's been quite dry of late, so that's not so much of a problem. If we turn right at this junction, that takes you onto the A5 between Shrewsbury and Oswestry, but we'll go left here and take the old road. And on the left, just down here, you'll see the Queen's Head pub, which is in Queen's Head, and we're going to be crossing the canal as well, which you won't be able to see from the road. That's a nice walk. Okay, we join the A5 now. The old North Road runs between Shrewsbury and Oswestry. We're heading in the Shrewsbury direction at the moment, so quite a busy road this. Traffic as ever seems to get busier every year. Approaching the infamous Shotton Crossroads, a well-known accident black spot that the council refuses to do anything about whatsoever. All the accidents, well, not all of them, most of them tend to be low speed shunts, people crossing over, people changing direction. You've really got to keep your wits about you. Well, that's about it. We're nearly back at the starting point. We'll be turning left shortly to right in 11 towns. So thanks very much indeed for coming along the ride. Hope you enjoyed it, and maybe see you out there. Bye for now, and safe riding.